What's going on, good people? We are here today to have a critical conversation regarding musician matters with some very special elite individuals in the industry, and I'm excited for this conversation we're going to be able to have today. So, so here we go. We're about to bring everybody in and get the party started. All right. So we got my guy Dan Spiffy Neuman. We got Swift, aka Mr. Soul Tone, and we have see it's funny because Clifton's last name is Campbell. So yesterday Rod was asking me, are you related? And I'm like, no, I mean, but we can be. It's all good. We all family at the end of the day.
Amen.
Can you guys hear me clearly? Can everybody hear everything clearly? Cool. Just checking. And then we'll have Brent Beast on drums on with us in a second. So yeah, man. Swift, you got any questions you want to start off with? You want to start off saying, glad to be here, whatever you want to say, man. It's all good.
I'm just really thankful for everybody to show up and be a part of this movement, and I'm thankful for you letting us have this platform, and thankful for all the musicians that's on this platform, so we can make this a better world in today.
Well, yeah, man, I'm excited, man, that we get to continue these conversations, man. I saw quite a few of Dan Spiffy Newman's podcasts and different things he was doing. So if you want to, kind of share some of the things and conversations you've been having since the pandemic regarding music and, musical minds and musical matters, go ahead and tell the people who you are, where you're from, what you're doing, what you're working on.
Talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, for those who don't know me, I am a guitarist and organist, originally from Wisconsin. I've been blessed and privileged to live all over the country and tour all over the world, but I'm back home in my home state in Wisconsin. And I've been here, I've been back here several years now. And he was talking about my show. One of the things that I've started doing in the pandemic is noticing that a lot of us musicians are at home more. And honestly, what I saw was a lot of people getting reckless on social media, a lot of musicians getting reckless on social media. And I said, and getting a lot of attention for it. And I said, well, what if we use this platform among musicians for good, to uplift each other and to talk about causes that are important to us. So I enlisted one of my closest friends and one of the best musicians that I know, drummer Michael Bland, and we put together a show called Musipolitics, where we every Tuesday night on Facebook and YouTube, we go live and we talk about music and we talk about the issues that matter to us, and we have a guest. And we've been lucky enough to have some really good guests. Music-wise, we've had Andre Simone from The Revolution. We've had Dave Perner from Soul Asylum. We've had drummer Calvin Rogers. On the political side, we've had a judge from Texas. We've had some of the, more high-profile activists in the Black Lives Matter movement. We've been really blessed to have some really phenomenal guests. We have the science advisor to the government of Bermuda to talk about COVID-19. And it's just been crazy, the amount of people that we've been able to talk to, just saying, hey, we're musicians. We have this audience as musicians. We want to use our audience to talk about important stuff, and people have reached out to us and said, I want to be a part of that. And it's been a great blessing. Tonight's episode, 7 p.m. Central Time. Our guest tonight is a comedian Abby Crutchfield, who's been on The Tonight Show and Jimmy Kimmel and Comedy Central and MTV and all those things. She's going to be our guest tonight. And I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but it'll be real interesting. Especially maybe we'll talk about, everybody's been talking about Bill Burr because of Saturday Night Live. Maybe we'll talk about that. Maybe we won't. But that's one of the positive things that's come out of the pandemic for me is, since I was home more and a lot of the musicians and other people I knew were home more, we decided to do something positive with it. So Music Politics on YouTube and Facebook, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to talk about it. I really hope to see some of you guys there. It's been an incredible experience, and we got a lot of great stuff coming up as well.
Yeah, man. I'm all for, making sure that everybody, gets to see and gets to experience what it is that everybody is doing during the pandemic, man. I was hitting it pretty heavy myself when everything kind of started. Just having like one of the things that I had built out earlier in 2019 was a turning point, which is this that you see here. And then I pushed that into like doing it on a digital scale. So we have like more biblical conversations or conversations regarding like, music or business or whatever the case may be. So doing these type of endeavors with musicians, especially talking about like how to basically push into making a pivot to where you're not just playing your instrument, but how you're also able to now do other things in other areas and other ways that you wouldn't have been able to do before. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what we on here for, to let everybody know, like, hey, we all out here trying to figure it out. And we all trying to find a different lane or avenue that we are a part of or experiencing, so we can push whatever we got going on out there. And yeah, so everybody check out Music Politics. What time does that start? Does it start at 7?
Yeah, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Perfect. So yeah, 7 p.m. Central. So if you're in California, that means 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
So but yeah, man. So I know we got a couple of other guests that are coming on. And getting everything situated. But what was it that made you kind of stick into politics? I mean, as far as like, bridging that gap between the two industries, if you will.
Well, so I don't know if you know who my co-host is, Michael Bland. He's my favorite drummer. Yeah. And I say that having had Calvin Rogers on the show, but Michael's probably best known for being the drummer that played the Diamonds and Pearls drum solo. And if you go back in those old Prince videos, he had the big guy, big hats, but he's toured with Shaka Khan. He's toured with the Jonas Brothers. He's toured with George Benson. I mean, he's one of the most resume drummers in the world, and I was a fan of his before I was a friend. And I used to go see him play just in Minneapolis because he'd play around Minneapolis. And then I added him on social media, and we found out that we were interested in a lot of the same things outside of music. We were interested in Black Lives Matter stuff. We were interested in, pro LGBTQ stuff. We were interested in just politics and social issues in general, the environment and climate change. And just we were both people that kind of had this view of, like what's wrong with the world and how can it be fixed? And not all musicians are either thinking about that kind of thing or talking about it openly, especially because, as some people have found out, you can get fired for talking about certain things openly, even if you're in the right. We had somebody on our show a week ago who was fired for making a pro Black Lives Matter post from a white church. So, him and I bonded over, like, we cared about the same issues, and we weren't scared to talk about them. And so him and I became real close friends as a result of that. And then what happened after that was, we were both, home. He was off tour from the pandemic. I was recovering from COVID. And I'd seen some other people use Facebook Live as a negative platform, and I went to him, and we were originally just going to talk about music, because I'd seen somebody else use Facebook Live to just talk trash about other musicians, and they were getting a ton of views. And I said, what if we do the same thing but do it for positive stuff? Right, we can probably get half that amount of views at least. And him and I were talking about doing it, and we were going to do it, but then George Floyd was killed, and that was the week before we were supposed to start. And he was like, man, I want to talk about music. And I was like, okay, well, let's make this more, instead of making it a show about music and about musicians, let's make it specifically about politics and social issues. And so our, first episode, we talked about George Floyd, and we talked about Black Lives Matter, and we talked about everything that was happening as a result of that and what things were like in Minneapolis, because, and then it just kind of grew legs after that, it turns out there's a lot of musicians who want to discuss these kind of issues with their people and their fan base and everything else, but they don't really have the platform to do it. And so that's been one of the great things. I mean, so, Andre Simone was one of our first guests, and he reached out to us and he said, look, I'm putting out this tribute to George Floyd. I want to talk about it, but I don't really have a place to talk about it. Can I come on your show and talk about it?
Yeah.
And so, like you said, that's kind of how the bridging between music and politics came together.
Right.
And it's been remarkably successful. We've had a pretty strong viewer base across, Facebook and YouTube and Spotify and all the different places. And it's really been, like I said, it's been an unexpected great thing to come out of the pandemic.
Definitely. Now we got some other guests on here as well. So for everybody that just came on, we have BEaston, right? So please introduce yourself to everybody so they can get to know who you are, and then we'll go to my guy Flatfoot down here on the left on my end. So
what's going on, everybody?
What's going on?
Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you good.
Well, like you said, my name is Brent Easton, and I'm from South Bend, Indiana. Y'all that don't know where that is, it's I guess the best way to say it is Notre Dame. That's where I come from. That's where I'm born and raised. Been playing drums for a long time, and just got off into some other stuff, some business stuff, and surrounding music and just more motivational speaking. And I've been around for a while. I'm close to Chicago. I'm like right in the center of South Bend is right in the center of, like Illinois, Michigan, and Ohio. South Bend is like right in the center of all of that stuff. Pretty close. So, but I'm glad to be on here today, chop it up with everybody, and we're just gonna talk about some things and go forward. So
yes, sir. Now, Flatfoot, we waiting on you to tell us who you are, where you from, what you doing.
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man?
So hopefully my connection doesn't go out. I live in the country.
You all good. We understand, man. Look.
Yeah, so first thing first, I'm in the country, so reception is horrible out here. But I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina, born and raised in Beaufort, Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
I moved to Florida in the fall of 2007. So I've been here in Tampa Bay area, Central Florida for the last, next month to actually be 13 years that I've been here in Florida. One of the greatest moves I've ever made. I've been playing drums. I play brass instruments like French horn, horns, all of that good stuff, but my primary instrument has always been drums. I've been playing since the age of 6, and if it's the Lord's will, I'll be 32 next year. So if you count those years, I've been playing for a little while, 26 years. A little about my background. Basically, it's always been drums. If it ain't got nothing to do with drums, I haven't had my hands in it. I'm just getting into the swing of, I just started my own band. The name of the band is called The Analogy. And if you know anything about the definition of the analogy, it just simply means my band and I, we give our own interpretation of the music that, we're either ministering or presenting to the live shows that we've been doing. We've done 3 Facebook Lives. Actually, we just did one last Thursday. We do them on my wife's page. So me and my wife, we have a little band situation going on, and it's been Going pretty good, and I just pray that going into this next year that we just continue to grow and hopefully get this thing on the road. But outside of that, man, I've been working with I don't know what's the best way to put it, a Latino or Hispanic church, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Mhm.
I've been there since this whole pandemic situation since March. So I've been having my hands kind of like I'm an assistant MD with the Spanish church, and they have tremendously grown since I've been there. Just to kind of give them my insight when it comes to music and things of that sort. And I mean that's about it, man. Music
Yeah.
is all I know, but I'm glad to be here with you all, and look forward to chopping it up.
Yes, sir. Well, first question I have on the table is what makes you keep playing? Because I mean, it's a lot of cats who've been playing for years, and they stop, they get a regular day job, and it's like I'm putting my instrument down. I got to collect these checks. Like, what is that makes you keep going? Week after week, month after month. Day after day. So whoever want to go first, y'all can do rock paper scissors virtually. We'll see who will win. And you know what I'm saying? Whoever want to go first, we'll just kind of go around the circle and then talk about what makes you keep going. So yeah, Danny, you want to go first?
Sure. I've tried working in some other fields because I have other interests,
Right.
and I have other skills.
Right.
And I've had some really good opportunities in some other fields. And so, I think everybody here knows that making a career in music is not easy. It is not, it is not the thing you pick if you want to, to be lazy or to be lucrative or to have a good retirement plan. I mean, there's no reason to go into a career in music other than if you love it. It is just, it's not something for the faint or for the weak. And so I've tried to shift my career into other areas, and God has always brought me back to music. Every time I've had a real good opportunity somewhere else, something has always happened to bring me back to making music my primary. So at this point, I've just kind of accepted that this is what God wants me to do, and He'll keep opening the doors. And I've been very, very blessed to come through the pandemic, because this is a very, very hard time to have a music career right now. And so far, it hasn't been easy, but we haven't wanted for anything during the pandemic. So, yeah, I mean, the short answer is I've tried other things, and it just, it's clear that this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Who on next?
I will. For me, man, drums is just like a first love. I've been playing drums, trying to play since I can remember. I guess the thing that really keeps me going is just seeing what's on the other side. Like, I know for some strange reason, like Dan said, like, we know this isn't easy, and we know that, like, things happen every day. Things, bad things, good things, but it's just like, man, I know that there was a purpose for me to start playing drums, and I don't feel I've reached the potential of that purpose. So that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still going. Um, every time I think about, doing different things, I'm like, nah, like I can't even. I could think about it for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But not long term at all. So every time I venture out into like a new business idea or just something, it always has to do with music. It always has to has to deal with music. And it's like that reason alone, it's like, okay, I find myself trying to connect these dots and see exactly where I'm going. And until I feel that I've reached my full potential with music, I know this is where I'm gonna be. So
I mean, but it just sounds it sounds crazy for you to say that, dude, because you are a beast. Like, what are you talking about? Your full potential? Like, what else are you trying to do? How much faster are you trying to get? Like, what?
Man,
that's
the thing, though, man.
What you trying to do, man? Like,
that's the thing, though, man. I think music is really, really like the love for music has to be internal. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and your goals, like the goals that you set, like it, dude. I could hear somebody tell me, I sound good a million times, and it's like, no, I could have did this better. I could have did that better. I got to figure out, like, you know what I'm saying, how to
I get
do. Like, then I watch other musicians play, and I'm just like, nah, I gotta practice. Like, I'm telling you, it's crazy, man. It's like, like I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of musicians, and like, people always, I get a lot of like DMs of people just like, man, I hit them back. I try my best to hit people back. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, you can't hit everybody back, but like, people always like, man, I see you always showing love to other musicians, and like every time I tag you in something or whatever, like you try to hit me back or whatever. And that right there is because of my love for being a musician, not for trying to be some type of famous, musician or whatever. Like, whatever God blesses me with, that's what I am. That's how, you know what I mean? I walk in it, but I try to do so with respect for everybody's craft. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see me commenting on just about everything I can musically or whatever has my attention at the moment. I don't care about, like, I don't care who you are and who you are not. Like, the love is music. That's the common thing that we got here. You know what I'm saying? So
that's our money down here, bro. BE, you are nuts, bro. All of you all are incredible, bro. You dope too, bro. We're gonna get you some soul tones. We're gonna talk to Soul Tone down here and get you some another shipment, right? Swift, don't be looking crazy. We can't hear you. You muted. Hold on. What you saying over there? What you saying over there?
You need to stop.
Stop. That's my dude, man. And we act crazy all the time. So that's just me. I'm silly and goofy. I'm a big kid, man. But I just love music and playing drums, like, But yeah, what about you, Flatfoot? What you got for us? What makes you keep getting up every day, wanting to play, wanting to start a band, wanting to keep going, especially during the pandemic, man? Because like you said, like it's kind of dry out here for a lot of people. So to be playing, period, almost at this point is like a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But what makes you keep going? So.
Yeah, I think B really he really set it up for me to kind of tag along to where everybody really to kind of tag along with what he was saying. And I must say, especially being here in Florida, Florida alone has hundreds and hundreds of musicians from the top all the way to the bottom. So um, it's been I can only speak for myself. It's been amazing to still be able to work. I don't necessarily share a lot that I have going on, but I've been able to still record at the studio for a couple different gospel R&B artists. Been able to still play on something. Now my ministries, they have been shut down, but I've still been afforded to play elsewhere with no, like Dan was saying, I've had no lack at all since this whole pandemic situation. Haven't wanted for anything, and so I'm grateful just for being afforded to still be able to use my God-given talents. But to answer the question, man, music is really all I know. Since a little boy, listening to all type of vinyl records and things of that sort, it helps more, I think, when you have that foundation. Your family and the people that you're around, the language, speaking of music, listening to music, all those things kind of coincide. And I think for me, just like Brent was saying, it's the fact that, and it's funny, I literally just made this post not even maybe an hour ago, and my post was saying that although I know for sure I'm not the most perfect drummer out there, it's the simple fact that at the end of the day, I know I still have somebody that is either looking up to me or looking for me to be an example for wherever they wherever they may be. Um, it's those situations to where we get so hung up on what this guy is able to do, what this guy is not able to do, to where we get so caught up in that we don't even realize that at the end of the day, there's a certain drummer or a certain person for everybody. Everybody's not going to play the same. Everybody's not going to sound the same. But at the end of the day, if you're still allowing your gift to shine bright versus your ego, then everything is peaches and cream after that. And I think that's where we kind of get lost in the sauce, for better like words, because we don't allow our gifts to really shine brighter than what our attitudes and egos are, allowing stuff to happen. So at the end of the day, music is what I live, breathe, and that's just about the end of it, man.
Okay, well, dope, man. I mean, that's what's up. So, Tom, what you got? You got anything, or you hold on, man. You still
It's
muted.
just in the Bible, it says, where's there unity, there is strength. I look at it for as far as the unity and the love, and basically to empower the kingdom. That's basically what I'm all about. I'm just about empowering the kingdom. Far as if it's just talking to somebody, mentoring somebody, far as of helping somebody out to how to play something. I'm not let's put it like that. I'm good and excellent, but I'm not to where I can just say I'm the best. Let's put it like that. I'm always striving for perfection daily. That's basically what I'm saying. And wherever I can put myself to shine or to help somebody else grow, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, definitely. Like I have to 100% agree with that. You definitely look out for other people and try to put people in a position to be better and to improve. So, I mean, for me personally, man, like I got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's like I want a legacy to be left to where like my grandfather was a pastor and a musician. My mother was the praise and worship leader at the church. And so like for me, it's like out of all of my brothers, I'm the one who stuck with music the most. Right. So everybody, my other brother was in the NFL. My brother right next to me is an aerospace engineer. Right. So like I'm the only one like still doing music, right? Kind of out of the 3 of us, like in a heavy way. And so for me, I just kind of feel like the torch was passed to me when it came to music on that end. And yeah, man, just trying to keep that legacy alive and continue to pursue like the God-given gift that God has given. I mean, getting accepted into like Berklee College of Music to play drums, but then not being able to go because I didn't have the money I didn't get the scholarship. So I had to figure it out. Right. So like, it's like, man, like, when the circumstances kind of put you in a place where you're not really sure if you should continue or like I was saying, if you should get that 9 to 5 or whatever you should do. And it's like, no matter what I did, no matter how many jobs I worked, no matter what I tried to accomplish, I was always on somebody's drums. Like it was just inevitable. So now like working on an album and working on like projects with other artists, and we just did the clinic in Vegas the other week in August, right? And then trying to figure out now, like I just locked arms with this team Onyx Financial, right, where I'm basically helping musicians to build retirement plans because we don't have retirement plans. And so it's like, man, like why don't we have retirement plans at the churches we play at? And like now I'm trying to figure out like in what way can I impact the musician community to make sure that you are not only good, but your kids is good, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like just all of that. Like you musicians can own their homes and like all this other stuff because you know what to do with your money, right? So I mean, but that's like a whole nother conversation for another day because I feel like some of the ways in which some of the organizations we work with as musicians don't always take care of us for the long haul. They take care of us because we're able to play, right? And so as long as we're able to play and as long as we're able to contribute, like we good in their eyes. But when we're not, then we're not always able to, you know, be a viable source to bring that level of quality sound or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, talking about stuff like, you know, the importance of building a brand, right? Or not just being endorsed, but having your own product, I think is important conversations to have because what if you can't play anymore and you still got the endorsements and they still want you to do stuff, but you can't play. So how are you going to take care of yourself and what are you going to do? And so that's why we was kind of, me and Dan earlier when we was first starting was kind of talking about like how to pivot and how to make an impact even while you're a musician. You might have other interests and learn how to build those other interests so you'll be good, right? So I think it's important, right, that we continue like to build and to expand in other areas and other ways to where music is a part of what we're doing, but it may not be everything that we're doing, right? Like it's like honestly, like even learning how to operate this platform. Like if I wouldn't have been trying to build like a more quality live stream at the time, I wouldn't have even been able to do this, right? So but that was because of the pandemic. The pandemic like literally shoved everybody into a corner and was like, if you don't learn live stream, you're gonna be stuck. So like it kind of punked everybody like, hey man, like you better figure out how to find whatever software you're gonna use or whatever you're gonna do to basically make an impact. So but when we talk about endorsements, right? Like what is it that makes you choose a particular company, you know, that you want to work with versus another, right? So I don't know, whoever want to talk, you can talk. I guess we'll do this again. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get like a thing where it go around with like lights and it just stop on a person and then whoever it stop on it just talk. That'll be dope. But that'll be something for later. Anyway, whoever want to go can go as far as that's concerned, talking about endorsements and why you would choose one company over another. So you want to go Soul Tone? Why you pick Soul Tone?
Well, as far as can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay, as far as endorsements, it's how they treat you, and far as of the situation, I just didn't pick Soul Tone. I was looking for the sound and what they had to offer.
Sure.
You know, to nowadays, you have to. They don't pick you. I mean, you don't pick them or whatever. You have to basically buy in. You just can't get an average endorsement no more. You basically buy in your endorsement. Did you notice that to these days?
Right.
And so what I was doing is I was basically looking for the sound of the cymbals. These cymbals that I have right now, they have a crisp sound. And I don't like, it's not that I don't like, basically I haven't went to anybody else. I played Sabian first. That was the first thing that I played, but it was hard to get an endorsement with Sabian. That's when back in the days when I first started. I started back in at age of 3. So I started on Sabian, went from Sabian to Zildjian to Soul Tone, but I wasn't endorsed from Sabian or Soul Tone. I mean, Sabian and Zildjian. So Soul Tone, I just landed on Soul Tone. I had opportunities to do Soul Tone or Heartbeat Soul cymbals. They in Canada, but the problem is with Heartbeat, it's just that they out of country and Soul Tone was in country. I was thinking about how long it's going to take for me to get my product, how long is it going to take for me to, to talk to them. But I still have my hands open for heartbeat symbols. Reason why I have my hands open for heartbeat symbols because it's a Christian-based company.
Yeah.
So that's what's really got me really thinking about that situation. But I still like the sounds of Soul Tone.
Got you. Now, Dan, I know every guitar player has their preference for what they like. So what do you like? It's kind of hard with guitars, I know, but what is it that made you kind of use what it is you choose to use in certain moments or certain experiences? Oh, you still muted, bro.
Sorry, I'm not used to that. So yeah, when I first started, as far as endorsements are concerned, when I first started touring, I had a lot of companies offer me endorsements, and I probably should have taken some of them. I was young and I was green, and they weren't the equipment that I played. And my thing was, no, if these companies are offering me stuff, maybe the companies that I already played will start offering me stuff. And at the time, I was mainly playing Fender, and I didn't know how hard it was to get an endorsement with Fender, especially being in gospel and R&B and predominantly black genres of music. Fender's not really trying to give out endorsements, and I didn't know that at the time. So I passed up some real good opportunities, and then when I did start continuing to tour on a higher level, I ended up reaching out to all the companies of the stuff that I played already to see who would offer me endorsements, and some did and some didn't. But at the end of the day, I mean, I found out, at least for me, and this is speaking for me personally, that none of it was really worth it, because even when they would offer you stuff, a lot of times you still had to pay for something. That was, the days of them just sending you keyboards and guitars were gone. You could get a discount, but I could get the same discount by going and talking to the guy I know at the music store. And so eventually I stopped seeking endorsements, and I still occasionally get offers, but what I've found is that the stuff that I like to play sometimes has nothing to do with what's popular. For the past couple years now, I've been playing Parker guitars, and they're not even made anymore. I just love them. But yeah, I mean, the company's not even in business anymore. And so, I'm not even, there wouldn't be any point in even trying. As far as organ is concerned, I could get an endorsement with the Hammond Organ Company if I wanted to, but I like the vintage organ. So again, what's the point? And they've even talked to me about it. But like, my thing was, then you got to be seen playing the new stuff. And, if given the choice, I'd rather be seen playing the old stuff. So again, I just, for who I am and what I play and what I do, it's not, it's not high pressure to worry about endorsements. Again, I think a lot of people think, because the music industry used to be totally different, and one of the ways it used to be different is it used to be that if you were seen playing stuff, companies would just be shipping you drums and keyboards and stuff like that. Maybe they still do that if you're Brent Easton, but for most of us, they'll give you the artist discount, and that's about it. And again, I'd rather go on Facebook Marketplace and get Facebook Marketplace discount, and then I can pick out exactly what I want and not be beholden to anybody. But that, like I said, that's just me. And I've always had a soft spot for obscure stuff. Like I said, I play the Parker guitars. I played for years, and I still have it. I played that Prince Telecaster that pretty much only Prince played, and I had to really seek and look for. For a while, I was using Yamaha guitar amps, and Yamaha makes everything. But I mean, when you ever seen anybody with a Yamaha guitar amp? I like to find the cool stuff that sounded good that nobody knew about, just because I thought that was cool. I like to go and find the, everybody plays a Fender Twin, but you can find this guitar amp that sounds even better than a Fender Twin, but nobody's heard of it, that kind of thing.
Right.
So, that's just been me. And at the end of the day, when it comes to guitar, if I could only play one brand, it would have to be Fender, because they're just industry standard. Just like, just like, I mean, you're not going to see an organist playing anything other than Hammond. You know, it's industry standard.
Right.
You know, yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yes, sir. Well, what about you, Brent? Like, what made you choose? Because you switched. Like, you was with.
Yeah, man.
So, what made you go to? How do you say the name? Is it Sakai? Is it
Sakai.
Sakai?
Sakai.
Okay, that's what I. Okay, got you. What made you switch? Like,
honestly, man, what made me switch from Crush to Sakai is it's I guess I'm gonna just say it. I don't care. The communication, man. They stopped communicating, and even though I knew how to get drums if I needed drums, like I knew that, but I'm just big on relationships, man.
Yeah.
And you know, if I and the reason why I'm big on relationship is because I can play whatever I want to play. We all can. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so it's like if there's no relationship incentive, then it's like, man, I can go buy whatever I want to play, you know, like straight up. So, but I mean, I wasn't paying for, you know, I'm just being honest, I wasn't paying for those drums, you know, at Crush. I paid for a few of them. I did, you know, and honestly, a few of them, like, I offered to pay for it because I was just like, well, this is a new company and I don't like to just take from companies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want any company to ever be able to say, oh, well, he was with us, all he did was take. Nope. You're not gonna be able to say that about me, you know, whatever company that I'm with. But the communication got off, and when I couldn't get in contact with the people, it wasn't even a distribution company. Distribution was through Korg.
Okay.
So through Korg, I was in contact with them all the time. Like, we developed a great relationship.
Wow.
And because I developed a great relationship with the distribution informed me of the move with Sakai, which is Korg, you know what I'm saying? They informed me, and it was weird how they informed me. Like, I had a dream on a Saturday night that Korg was gonna drop Crush from distribution, and I called the dude at Korg like on a Sunday, and he'll tell you this, he'll verify. And I was like, "Yo, man, what's going on with Crush, man?" And you know, he was just like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Man, are y'all about to drop Crush?" And he was like, I don't really, I mean, what makes you say that? Like, he's talking just like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said, well, I had a dream last night. And I mean, he was like, are you serious? And I was like, no, I'm dead serious. I had a dream last night that, like, y'all was gonna tell me that y'all was letting Crush go. And you know, he didn't want to say nothing then, but he ended up telling me, you know, when the time was right and all that other stuff. And he was just like, yeah, he was like, we're going to let him. He kind of talked around it, and I kind of got my answer from that. You know what I'm saying? But what made me really switch was he, you know, of course, we all know, well, some of us know the originators of like the Absolute and those recording custom Yamahas and all that stuff. Sakai made those drums.
Oh, wow.
So I knew I was about to play like some of the best drums in the world, and I was like, man, I don't know. It was kind of a hard decision for me because I was just like, man, like, I know this company is like, this is like up there with DW, you know, especially price wise, man. You know what I'm saying? But the drums are amazing. The drums are amazing. So I was just like, man, I need to stick with this great relationship that I have with these guys at Korg. Like, I mean, they really are some good people. They fun. They just great to talk to about family and stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, you don't get that everywhere.
Right.
Whereas it started off like that, you know, with Crush, and it was, you know, I had known the guys at Crush because they used to work at D Drum, and I was with D Drum first. And I was getting ready to leave D Drum because of a whole lot of stuff that was going on over there. And they pulled me to the side at NAM and was like, hey, you know, don't go nowhere yet. We got something for you that we really want you to do. And it was Crush. So again, for me, it's been relationship throughout all these companies, really. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has, a lot of people have good sounding drums.
Right.
Some people have great sounding drums, in which that's what Sakai is. You know,
Right,
Sakai,
right.
like Sakai is like up there. You know, I've had people straight up, and I'm not gonna say their names because I don't even know if they, you know, they actually pulled me to the side. But I mean, some of the top drummers that you could think of, they told me straight up, they was like, man, I'm gonna tell you now, like, if anything ever happened with this company that I'm with, you know, and these are top companies, they're like,
Yeah.
I'm coming right to Sakai. Like,
Yeah.
everybody, them drums is like amazing, man, for real.
Wow.
So I, you know, to be honest, man, I was blessed into these situations.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like
Right.
into Crush, I was blessed into Crush, and I just think my season was up, really. And
Yeah.
then I was blessed with Sakai, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it just kind of happened, you know, I guess you almost say naturally, if you will, but not naturally. I get it. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
just one of them things to let me know, like, timing is everything, and you
Man.
know, you've been with this situation, and this situation was here, and now I'm gonna bless you with a situation here, and it's just levels, man, really, you
Right.
know. And I
Right.
don't, you know, I'm just being honest. After this company, I mean, it would take some type of amazing deal for me to even go to another drums company, you
Right.
know.
Right.
With Sabian, I mean, I've played Sabian pretty much since I was a kid. You know, I of course I
Mhm.
played Zildjian. I mean, I think we all at one point in time played Zildjian when we was younger, you know, growing up. But I started playing Sabian, hadn't went anywhere, still love the company. I mean, I love the cymbals, you know what I'm saying? Really. Um, Same thing with Vader. I started playing Vader when I was in high school, and I'm playing Vader now, you know. Evans,
Yeah.
started playing Evans when I was in high school. Well, shoot, probably middle school, you know, and I'm playing Evans, you know. I don't really switch up my sound much. I don't like to. Now I'll try new things within the company, but I mean just overall sound and
Yeah.
company. I don't
Yeah.
switch it up much, man. It's like if it's not broke, don't try to fix it, you know.
Right. Right.
So
Right. Right. Well, let's take a quick listen to these Sakai's real quick, you know, so everybody could hear what they sound like. I found a clip of you just playing them, look like in a room at the crib, I guess, maybe, or something.
yeah.
And so we'll pull that up right now. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Let's see. So yeah, I mean, you get a good grasp of. Oh yeah, my guy's back. So you get a good grasp of what those sound like in particular, and those puppies sound fantastic. Now, how long did I mean? Clearly, you don't have to do a whole bunch of tuning. It don't sound like. So,
I really didn't have to, man. I mean, that floor time, dude. I mean, the drums when the guy at Cord told me, he was just like, man, look, he said these drums. He was like, I'm telling you. He was like, yeah, Crush sounds good, but he was like, these drums are like on another level, and you'll hear it immediately. And I was like,
right.
okay. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, drums are drums. All right, cool.
Right.
Let's hear it. Because the set, the last Crush set that I had got was well, that I was currently playing was it was a Birch, it was a Sublime Birch, and then a step up from that was the AXM kit, and that AXM kit had pretty much like it almost had like DW specs, honestly.
Okay.
And which is some of them sets, some of them DW sets out there, they actually sound good. Some of them do, not all of them. In my opinion, I mean, I've played so many of them, and they didn't sound, all of them didn't sound good. But man, like when I hear certain people's drums, I just be like, man, they sound great. So they, in my opinion, they tried to take those specs of DW drums, and they made a Crush kit, and they came up with the AXM, which was the ash and maple hybrid with reinforcements in it, and man, like, and they also did a tour custom, like a tour sublime tour, all maple with reinforcements in it, man, and them drums, they sounded really, really good, really good. And I was just like, I even converted a few people. I was like, hey, look, you love DW, right? Play this drum set. And they was like, yeah, I can't lie. But yeah, man. I mean, he told me the drums was on another level, and I was just kind of like, all right, we'll see. Man, I got them drums, and I mean, the floor time was like an 808. Seriously. Like I had to stop it from ringing with the stock heads on it. Like, seriously, stock heads, like I had to stop it from ringing. It was just like the drum. I mean, they're from Japan, of course. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Japan engineered drums, Japanese engineered. It's another level, man, for real, that I didn't really expect to play. Not anytime soon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Right. So I know Soul Tone. What I mean, outside the Soul Tone cymbals, what's your favorite drum kit to play? Oh, hold on.
It's PDP DW right now.
Okay. Do you like anybody
right now? I haven't. Huh?
I said, do you like any other drum company?
I played Pearl before, but it's PDP DW right now.
Yeah, I got you. What about you, Flatfoot? What you like to play?
Right now, as of the last, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, yep. I'm home now, so I should be
good.
Right now, for the last couple months, I just purchased I just added my 8-inch. I've been rocking with a DW kit. Actually, matter of fact, it's between them two. But this is the DW I've been playing with the last couple months.
Sweet.
I just did a couple videos with it. last month, I think. But if I can't take that anywhere, then I most definitely would have to take my all maples. Those are going to be like second in command, most definitely. Just because of the tones,
Yeah,
something about, especially for recording purposes, when it comes to the tones, it's ridiculous in my opinion. Everybody has their sound that they're looking for, but just like Brent was saying, with this DW that I have, especially with the recording that I just did, the tones and the toms were phenomenal, and
yeah.
I really didn't do too much tweaking at all. I have they're green color tones on there right now, and I tuned them how I usually tune them, and I don't think the only thing I really put a lot of work into was um, probably my floor tom, which is
Okay.
always the usual anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I would have to go with DW, and of course, the first thing is going to say somebody's going to say they're too overpriced, in which they are. But you have to keep it. You have to keep in mind, if you want what you want, you're going to pay for it.
Well, yeah.
That's really what it boiled down to. You can't expect to. Now, I just recently heard. I think it was what is the guy's name? Toussaint Lipton out of New York. I think his brother had an old PDP kit or something. I think he paid $100 for it, and it sounds like maybe like a collector's kit. Whatever drums you can think of that he had done. Spent 3,000-4,000 K on the drum. So it's really all about how you make the drum sound.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm rocking with DW.
That's nice, man. Yeah. So, final question for today. What can you do, and what in your mind will you be able to do to change the music game? Like, what do you feel like you will be able to contribute, or what big plan do you have? That we might see in the next 5 years, where you'll impact the music game in a greater way. What you think? I'm gonna let Spiffy go first, because I feel like he's already ready. Look.
Well, I mean, I don't know if my goal is to impact or change the music game in the next 5 years. I'm at the stage in my career where the older guys still see me as a young guy, but the young guys see me as an OG. And so
That's crazy to me.
like, I've really, it's real though. That's your 30s as a musician, like, and so I've really, for the past, even before the pandemic, and then, I've really kind of taken it to heart to mentor young musicians that want to be mentored. And again, before everything shut down, whenever I had rehearsals at my church or whenever I was cutting sessions at my home studio, my door was open. Any young musicians that want to slide through and watch and ask questions, come on through. And so I feel like the biggest way that I can make an impact on music is to be a positive influence on the musicians that are coming after me, especially because with YouTube and with social media, and now we've got Instagram and TikTok and all that. I mean, everybody's got all these great examples of how to play, but they don't have hands-on examples of the other side of the music business, which is, taking care of your business, showing up on time, learning the music, being dressed appropriately, all the other stuff that gets you work besides how good of a musician you are. And so what you get is what I'm finding with a lot of the younger musicians is that they can play, but they're not ready to be in a professional situation just because all they're basing it on is what they're seeing it on social media. And so, that's kind of my ministry in terms of music. And then, like you brought up my show earlier, and the great thing about that is being able to broaden the community to go beyond just music and musicians. And like I said, now we have musicians and talking to activists and doctors and everything else. When up until now, a lot of us kind of existed in our own bubble. We talk to other musicians, and if we're in gospel or church, we talk to church musicians and pastors and church people, and that was about it. And so those, like I said, I'm not putting it on myself to try to make major changes across the industry as a whole, but I feel like that in those small ways that I can impact those around me, and if that has a ripple effect, I'm grateful for anything I can do.
Yeah. And just so you know, it already is having a ripple effect. I just want you to know. I just want to see what you was going to say, right? Because the reality is you're already doing it. To be honest, for you to take the courage to bridge those gaps and to have those conversations between those two like industries, and to have, conversations with so many different people on so many different levels, like that's a game changer already. I mean, because most people won't pivot, like everything for them will always be music, right? But what you're doing is showing people that you can do more and you can make more of an impact if you know how to like conversate effectively, and the connections you build from playing as an artist, because artists are people, right? And then musicians are people. Right. And we had these conversations all the time in like green rooms and in recording studios and all this other stuff. But to bring it to where it's a centralized place, and then you building out merch, and then you building out like all these different things to build a brand, like that you already changing the game. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to see from your standpoint how you felt. But I respect it though, because I mean, at the end of the day, like we don't always realize the impact that we making because we just doing what we gonna do anyway. We're not tripping. So no, that's dope though. And again, if you're gonna be on here later tonight, they're doing music politics. That's at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yep.
So 5 o'clock in California, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go to whoever's next. What do you ultimately want to do? I mean, we'll give it a 5-year time frame. Like 5 years from now, what would you have wanted to have built, or I mean, it could be an app, or it could be, I don't know, your own stick company, whatever. It don't matter. But what way do you feel like you want to impact, the music industry, right?
I mean, I'll go next. Let B go last because he got a long. I know he got a long list.
It's all good.
But for me, real quickly, like I said earlier in the broadcast, I recently just started a band, The Analogy, and my goal, or like my foundation, if anybody's familiar with the composer Ramsey Lewis, he used to do like a jazz set. I think back then it was either PBS or ETV, where he would have different artists coming in, do sit-ins with George, do blah blah blah, Luke Ritenour, Marcus Miller, and I kind of want to take the same approach on the more gospel side. Right now, because of the pandemic, everything is more studio wise, so we don't have a lot of room to have it open to the public. So what I want to overall do is build it to where, for better lack of words, I want to bridge the gaps. And what I mean by that, and I'm sure this is everywhere across the United States, but I'll speak for this area. We don't have a sense of, let me not say we, there is a sense of no togetherness. It's either we're doing something or on our own, or we're over here doing something, and there's no in between. It's always this, that, and the other. I want to bring some type of bridging the gap situation to where everybody feels welcome to be themselves. As I was saying before, earlier, we musicians have got to a point to where, and I'm not old, but just like you were saying, I'm going on 32. But a lot of young guys that's like 21, 22, either calling me sir or saying yes sir and stuff. And I'm like, dude, just call me bro. Don't call me yes sir. I'm far from being old. But they don't have any type of avenue to just be themselves because social media to a certain degree has painted a picture of everything being instant. If it's not within that 15, 20 seconds, we can't watch it. Or if it's not within that 30 minutes that 30 seconds or to a minute, we can't have our attention set on it because everything has to be just like that. And I want to kind of get back to the basics to where we can have, that same concept, but let us have the opportunity to break things down to where, let's say if somebody was a teenager, where we can actually so it's almost like a mentorship, having a mentorship as well as having a show. I want it to be similar to, the Ramsey Lewis show. And if anything, man, just showing that you don't have to be, and I'm just using Brent for example, but because he's more or less mainstream, playing with the mainstream artists, you don't have to be a Brent Easton, a Josiah Maddox, or somebody like that to be known or seen. Work on your own craft, work on your own skills, and as long as you're honing in on what you're capable of doing, someone is always watching at the end of the day. It doesn't matter who you are. Just hone in on your own skills, and the sky is the limit, man.
Yeah, man, that's dope. Brent, you want to go next, or you want to go Soul Tone? Soul Tone is talking. Hold on, let's get him on. Here you go. Go ahead, we got you.
All right, I would like just to thank the whole panel on today. This is an awesome experience with everyone. Get a shout out to 24hourgospel.com. We roll 24 hours a day of gospel, full gospel. And that's what's giving me the impact, keeping me rolling basically in the church. Because I'm able to network with tons of people, not just musicians, not just drummers, but artists, and far as of radio announcers, far as of everyone that you name, I can just connect with everyone because of just that particular platform. 24-hour gospel. If you haven't heard it, you can look it up. It's called 24hourgospel.com. After this show, I'm gonna send everybody the link so they can tap in and give like a shout out, or say whatever their business is or whatever there is, what they have for like 30 seconds. That you listen to it. It's called 24hoursgospel.com. And I would like to thank Dan for just being there, because I first time I heard of you, Dan, was GMWA. I think it was it Washington?
Depends which year. I've only missed a couple years since 2002. So
that was Washington. I think it was Washington. You was just rocking that lead, bro.
That's dope.
And Beast, I listen to you every day. There's not a time, there's not a day, not an hour that you don't come through my phone or through the house or the car. Flatfoot, you just awesome. You just you was already a part of me when we first started. And then nephew, I really thank you for setting this platform for us, for Musicians Matter, and we're just gonna make it happen on this day, from this day forward.
Yes, sir. Beast, what you got for us?
Man, I really one of the things that I want to see happen is just I want the whole musician community to develop more positivity, like
Yeah, yeah,
online, offline, everywhere really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, us musicians, I mean, we all are jokesters. It's just pretty much it's just in our character. It's in our blood. You know what I'm saying? We all got different blood, but I mean, we all like shared. I mean, I'm sure we all got funny stories and everything else. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to see positivity, more respect for each other, um, and regardless of like disagreements and stuff like that. But one of the things that um, I really want to build is I want to build a way for us to make money without actually having to leave and go on tour, you know. And I
Mhm.
mean real money. Like I want to see tours for musicians be a choice, not a must.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, it just needs to be a choice, and I think it's too many people that um have to go on tour and be away from their kids and family and all that stuff because they have um to provide versus having to because it's just still what they love to do at the age of 50 or 60 or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And so I just been in the process of building something for musicians to be able to um, uh, make good money in a day, and you know, be able to take care of their family doing so, and I just
Yep.
believe that, when I'm done with everything, it's a company that I started already. It's called Rhythm of Life, but I just been working to do certain things and just line up everything that can actually help a lot of musicians, regardless of your age. You know what I'm saying? So
That's dope.
that's what I've been working on, man, and that's what I will see. I have to say I will see it flourish within um, some years to come, like,
Yeah, yeah,
a couple years, you know what I'm saying? I mean, by the time 5 years hit, I mean, I should really be deciding whether or not I want to go on the road with whoever.
mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's my plan, man. That's my 5 year goal. Like within 5 years, if somebody called me for a gig, I should be able to say no. I don't. I really, no. I'm gonna call my homeboy. I'm gonna call my little brother. And I'm gonna have him do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like that's the position I want to be in. You know.
yep, yep.
So I mean, I keep. I'd like to keep doing records and stuff like that, but man, to just be moving around. You know, thank God for my car, but man, my car got, let me see, 305,000 miles on it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, they highway miles. I didn't
Yeah,
put some miles on this car, man. Like, I mean, it's a Avalon Limited. You know what I'm saying? So it can handle it. Toyota. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problems with it at all, like whatsoever right now. Zero.
that's crazy.
But But you know, when I bought this car, what about maybe 4 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't even have 100,000 miles on it.
Wow.
So, um, you know, I just want to be able to, man, take care of myself, and I just want to be able to take care of some other musicians. To be honest with you, and I don't
Yeah,
think a lot of musicians even think like that. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
like, why wouldn't I want to help out some other musicians financially and make sure, you know, they taken care of and they can provide for their families just by doing what they love and, you know, maybe speaking a little bit and playing some, you know, playing whatever their instrument is, you know, and talking about life's experiences and everything else, you know.
Right.
You know, so I just that's my goal, man, and that's what I've been working on. I mean, not necessarily, you know, it's not a secret, but I just I don't talk about it much. I work on it. I've been planning, you know, I've had so many meetings. I think during this pandemic, I've had more meetings than I ever had in my life.
Yep.
Seriously, you know, and I've been working on some things with my city, the city of South Bend, you know, to get it started here. I have, man, I just been blessed during this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, it's like I even had COVID myself.
Wow.
You know, and it's crazy. It's like I don't even feel like we've and you know, let me clarify what I mean before I say this. As far as just different blessings and just different things, I mean, I don't even feel like we've been in a pandemic in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't lacked any. I mean, I paid off my car. You know what I'm saying? Like in this pandemic. So, I mean, the things that I've seen transpire, like you know, it's kind of weird. It's like everybody is like 2020 will go down as one of the worst years, and I'm like, man, for me, 2020 is gonna go down as one of the changing point year for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I mean, I've been, you know, financially stable, you know, without robbing people and, you know, trying to do different things, you know what I'm saying, and all that. Like, I just think that musicians can share this a little more. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't want to be the only musician doing well.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I love music that much and I love people that much to where I don't want to be the only one doing well. I wish that we could all just do well and go up together, but it's like the mindset of a lot of musicians is just I mean, it's funny and it's sad and it's everything, you know, all at once. You know what I'm saying? But I think that man, if we really musicians is probably one of the most, matter of fact, not even probably, we are some of the most powerful minds on the earth. Period. One by one, and if a lot of us got together and on one accord, we could take on, like music could literally run this world. And I mean, it pretty much, you know, in a sense it does, but I mean, just, you know, like us together is a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
that's I'm talking about a lot of different things now, but I mean, you know, in the end of it, you know, it's, you know, that's just what it is, man. So,
for real. Yeah, man. No, I'm excited having these conversations, man, and to see where people's mentality is, and you know, to see the work that people are doing. I mean, I'm very much so like a collaborator and like a person who like to just come in and just, what are we working on? What are we getting done? What do we need help with? That's how I know Roderick, right? So I met Soul Tone because he hit me up and was like, through a mutual friend of ours named Dave, and I've been learning like StreamYard pretty well, like since the pandemic. I used to teach, like I taught Sunday school, like I've been teaching Sunday school every Sunday, right? But then I also play, right? So I'm helping like artists get their streams together and how to do concerts and use streams and do all this other stuff, right? So he hit me and was like, hey man, I want to do a drum clinic, but like I know it can't be a lot of people. I know COVID is here. What can I do? I don't know. I'm not technologically savvy. Like, what can I? And I was just like, all right, man. Like, let's work. Like, this is what I mean, I'm pretty good with it. So I'll fly out to Vegas, like, and I'll come out there on my own dime, and I'll help you with everything. So then it turned from that into, all right, well, I want you to be the featured clinician. I'm like, I didn't ask you for that. I was only helping you with the stream. Like, I wasn't tripping on playing at all. Like, I wasn't coming to play. Like, I was just coming to help you with this. And he like, no, let's do that. And then, like, it just turned into this huge relationship where a lot of the cats from Vegas, like I met, like Ronnie Thomas and Cal Styles and, like, different cats, right? And now, like, a lot of us talk on a regular basis. Now I talk to him. He like my new uncle, right? So it was cool. Like, and, you know, I'm from Oakland. So, like, I played with all the cats from the Bay or whatever. But for me, I'm like, man, how do we take this same concept of building unity and just take it around all the different parts of the world? Like, just as musicians. I mean, because we all deal with some of the same issues, some of the same problems, but, like, what can we do to help each other at the end of the day? So, yeah, man, that's what I'm all about. So I'm grateful that I was able to even help with this today and just be a part, man.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad to be a part of this, for real.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. And I'm excited for what we do next and the next time. And I wish, you know, NAMM was coming up so I could just, you know, I could meet everybody there, but man, I know that's kind of crazy with that. So, but yeah, man, I hope everybody have a blessed one, man, and yeah, I'm excited to eventually meet everybody, and I don't know when, I don't know how, but it'll happen at some point, and we can all connect, just play together and chill and hang out and get something to eat. I like to eat, praise God. And so,
me too.
Yeah, man. So, you know, but yeah, man, I'm excited, man. So, Swift, you got anything else for us? Or anybody else want to say any final word, final thoughts before we get off of here?
For me, real quick, just like I told Swift, when he hit me up yesterday, I was like, you sure you got the right person? Now, mind you, you know, we kind of chop it up, you know, off and on, you know, on social media. But he hit me up. I was like, you sure you got the right Campbell? And he was like, yeah. He was like, you silly. So if anything, man, I'm definitely honored to, you know, be on this with you all. I've been following Spiffy off and on, I want to say for the last I'll say at least the last 3-4 years. When I saw the lineup, I was like, okay, yeah, I know who Spiffy is. And you know, and I don't like to use the color barrier because I love everybody, regardless. I love everybody. But I'm like, this white guy is out here killing, period. Like, who is this dude? So I started following him. It was a good 3-4 years, and I'm like, his style, his choice of his chord progressions. Now, I'm not a organ player by far, but how it's just even hard to explain. But I've caught some of his lives, even like on Sunday morning. And it's like the dude is very talented, not even just on organ, but of course on lead as well. Mm-hmm. And there's not too many people that you can sit and listen to for 10-15 minutes at a time and still be engaged, and that's how I've been with him. And of course, Brent, we've had some conversations off and on. Some things happened. We were supposed to connect. It was about a year and a half ago. We still gonna get it done, man. Hopefully, after all of this is over, we can work towards something next year. But again, I'm just grateful to be a thought of, to hang out and chop it up with you all today. So I definitely appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Dan, you want to say anything?
Well, first of all, I will thank Swift for being a great supporter. When you talk about uplifting other musicians, for as long as I've known who he was on social media, whenever I've put music out there, he's shared it. Whenever I've had my show, he's shared it, he's commented. And I can't stress enough that, especially right now when everything is virtual, the biggest thing that we can do to help build each other and support each other is to share content. You know, if Brent puts out a video, I want to share that, and then my viewers now see Brent, and that's, you know, that's how we can build each other up right now while everybody's more or less stuck at home. Mm-hmm. And Swift has always been that guy. You know, before I even knew who he was, I'd start recognizing his name because he was always in the mix, and you know, with being a supporter in that way. And I want to encourage everybody that's watching, do the same thing. If you are a fan of anybody on this panel, or you enjoyed anybody on this panel, go and seek out their content and share it, because it only helps them. Obviously, I want to shout out Music Politics tonight, 7 p.m. Myself and drummer Michael Bland. Our guest tonight is comedian Abby Crutchfield. So we'll be talking about comedy in addition to music and other things. And yeah, in any way that I can be in assistance, feel free to reach out to me. I'm grateful to be included in this panel, and anybody else that has anything like this and feels like I can be of value, please let me know. I'm happy to support any way that I can.
Yes, sir, man. And we've heard all the words, and yeah, I'm excited for everything, man. And Brent, you are definitely a source of motivation for me personally, especially when it comes to the kid, man. So I just want to tell you, I mean, no matter what's going on, please keep going. Because, I mean, I was up watching you last night on YouTube on the TV. I mean, at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, so, I mean, you know, I'm always a student. I'm glad to meet new cats. Now I'm about to go listen and look on Flatfoot's page, because I just added him on Facebook right now, and keep, you know, and see what he's doing and see what he has going. Dan, I had already told you, I've been on your, you know, live shows and things that you've done. But yeah, I'm very much so a supporter of everybody, man. And I just love music. I'm excited for all the things that we'll be able to do and accomplish and coming together and being unified, man. So whatever we do,
appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Life keep going. Yeah, and again, I'm Dominique Campbell. This is Turning Point. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we do this. We're gonna be doing this every other week. For the next little while. Yeah, so we'll do this every other Tuesday at 11 a.m. We'll be bringing different musicians on and just having different conversations about different things, about how to better ourselves as individuals and musically. So, yeah, man. But, yeah, I appreciate everybody, and I hope y'all have a solid day, man, and y'all be safe out there. Go ahead, Swift. You got it.
You too. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Beast.
Yes, sir.
Beast.
Yep.
Is the shirts ready? They ready?
Is the shirts ready? I got one on right now,
sir.
But yeah, I've been sending out shirts, man.
Okay, all right.
I've been sending
I'll
out
make my
some
order.
shirts. Cool, man.
You know, I want the one with the black and the purple.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm gonna need one in
I
size
appreciate it,
fat.
man, for real.
You need help. Somebody need one in the size fat. Well, that's good. I need a fat.
Hey, man, that's what I had to get mine in. that's what size I have to get mine in, man.
Well, yeah, man, y'all have a blessed day, man, and we'll be back on again next Tuesday at 11 a.m. In 2 weeks. But yeah, man, I'm excited for everything everybody got going, and I'm excited to release this new single. I'm working on the drum and bass project with my boy, so that'll be out fairly soon, probably like around Thanksgiving. That'll be coming out. So yeah, man, it's always something to do. It's always something to work on. It's always something to push to accomplish. And let's just keep it going, man. So I'm excited. So I'll check in with y'all next time, and y'all be blessed, man. All right, peace.
All right,
Okay,
man.
you too, man. Thanks.
Yes,